You cannot come to my show. Calling my phone like you know. You wouldn't leave it alone. I'm asking you to play nice. Let's not pretend you were nice. You just don't want me to smile. It's been that way for a while, but I've been on my godsend. I've been moving mountains. Been fucking and been grounded. In love with my surroundings. Can't fuck with me, you so small. My love it was a close call. It's okay, you fucked up.
What the fuck is up with this goddamn Twitch app home screen shit right now? Also, short song chat, because we're abandoning songs at the beginning of streams, like I always say. Just, some people might show up and see a song. Well, I'll check back in 2 minutes, and they'll never check back ever again. So we got to avoid that. Now, what was I saying? This fucking Twitch app is fucking the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. You open the homepage and it's just playing a stream. Hold on, I'm trying to see if my audio is working, but I got a 30-second ad because Twitch is fucking stupid. Why are we still streaming on this goddamn platform? How do I get this YouTube thing going? Do we restream? Do we dual stream? It's got to be easy. I'm going to do it after this stream, and I'm going to be back at 8 o'clock, and we're going to YouTube stream perhaps. Okay, the audio's working. Okay, now I'm minimizing it here, chat. Now you can't see shit because, Lamau, I can't stream my phone. What do you think, I'm a fucking god or something? Obviously, I can't do that. Now, if I go to the homepage, it's just fan streaming, and it's in a weird portrait mode, even though she's obviously streaming horizontally. What's that? Portrait and vertical. Well, I think I said the wrong thing. But then you have to scroll through, but I'm pretty sure I'm following fan. But the next person I scrolled to, KCO_, I'm not following this idiot. Well, I guess it's the homepage. But where do I go to the people I like? Oh, I click this little heart thing and it comes up. Huh. And it's not even ordered in number of viewers. Because we got fan at the top, then SFan TV underneath with 5K. None of this is going any well. I used to check this goddamn Twitch app every day. See who had the most viewers and shit. Now I don't see nothing. I'm just out of the thing. Who knew Will Neff had more viewers than SFan TV? This is crazy. Anyway, how times have changed. My finger is no longer on the Twitch pulse. And guess what? I just closed the app. Now I have to reopen it again. To find my fucking stream. Click on this thingy. And here we go. Now we're ready and raring to go. I don't know what time it is around the world. Oh my god, I could check that on my phone too. The marvels of next century technology. Where's the clock? Clock. Then you click on this thing and it says world clock. It's 1 a.m. in America. That's not very good. It's 6 a.m. in London. That's not very good. Well, maybe this is the inopportune time to stream always. But anyway, let's charge onwards anyways. Now, I had a whole thing. Now I have to check something and I have to put this up, chat. Oh my god, look at this beautiful tree animation. Who made this, I wonder? Remember when we were doing, reading through Attack on Titan? Because I gotta get my notepad up, chat. But I want to see if there's any sensitive information here. Potential secondary intelligence? No. Okay, get rid of this goddamn tree. Is there really anything to update? I guess I did a tweet. I finished We Are Lady Part Season 2. Isn't that incredible? Goodbye Eerie. I don't think we've streamed since I've done Goodbye Eerie either. Or maybe that was literally the last stream. I think it was, huh? Was it? Yeah. I don't know. I could check the VODs channel, but I don't want to. Oh my god. Let's see if we have any comments. Mia Lee Vinland Saga commented on our great House of the Dragon thingy, but he's the only one. Oh my god. He's got 2 likes and I just made it 3. Where's my 1,000 viewers? That's what was supposed to happen for House of the Dragon's return. But never fear, because if you go to this piece of shit's fucking channel and you click on this one here, 401 subscribers. My fucking god, he's done it. He's an embarrassment to all humankind. This video is not even at 500 views. Uploaded 16 hours ago. That's pretty. He fell off. I think I've seen all these comments. None of them are interesting because I said I liked the episode, chat, sadly. So yeah, it's just this episode is amazing, and I sure love it. And Heath had a good comment. I haven't responded to it. Rest in peace. I'm sure he's looking up at us right now. Get it? Because he's in hell now. How to write the perfect war arc. Oh my god, let's add this to the playlist. Remember when we had a playlist? Oh, we're on the secondary ENT channel right now, which means I can add things to the playlist. Oh, something else happened since the last time we streamed. Hold on, I'll bring that up in a second if I just click view channel here real quick. Oh, now the video is on. And I don't really care enough to try to remember what it was to Google it. Oh my god, what is this? Super Mario 64 DS. I have that video game. I played slight bits of it. Anyway, if we click on this, first of all, a new Berserk video, 10,000 views. Just kidding. This one, though, 909, the march to 1 million is getting shorter by the day. So isn't that just exciting? I need to get this fucking wall clock off my goddamn screen, huh? But yeah, we'll be there eventually. This one's gonna get to 500k, but this one's probably gonna get to 10k first, because, it's just getting more views and shit. Anyway, that's some nonsense. Anyway, two great discussions. One to the millions and to the masses, and one to nobody. Oh my god, cool Pokemon artwork. Oh my god, now that your likes are private, it just incentivizes me to like everything, so I'm just liking Pokemon. That, and I'm seeing some cool ones. And I think I can go in my likes here. But now I can't remember if I got explicit with it, so we're not checking those. That's right, Ari had to become a doctor. I had my whole rant about how dubs might actually be good. Me teasing the Mushoku Tensei fans. Oh my god, better character development than it's true, because it's the evil guy, but he's got a Crobat, which means it evolved through friendship, and that's like mechanical storytelling, bro. It's like genius. Oh my god, I want to play Pokemon Snap again. Oh, I was gonna look up all the, because there has to be interactions I haven't seen, so I should just look up like the top 50 coolest little interactions that you probably missed in Pokemon Snap, because that would be epic. Oh, this was funny because they posted the Tony Soprano actually made a good point here, but they left in the bit at the end that shows like
have to do with you.
No, you're a pussy, and so that's pretty funny. Oh, the fruit also happened. When me and Ari, we made like a whole big short list of a bunch of video anime we could do that were all short, and then we picked like our two favorite, and obviously I picked the two cool ones, and Aliari picked the two piece of shit like modern bullshit losers on the internet talk about him shows. And then we put them in a poll, and when the poll first started, Gunbuster and Bocchi the Rock were actually neck and neck, and Death Parade had 0, and Gungrave had 1 because I voted for Gungrave. Why is it so? Oh, because it's the results. I thought it was trying to tell me that I voted for Bocchi the Rock. Obviously, that's not the choice. But yeah, so I was excited. I was like, oh my god, Gunbuster, the fans love it. But then the shitty modern popular show won the day. This isn't exactly what we're going to do. We're just using it as a gauge on audience anticipation. I've also currently watched 1 episode of Madoka Magica, so I've got to get through that. But chat, recently all I've been doing, we can get it up here. This one. I've been doing this one. Now, if you recall last time, I was probably monologuing about how I'm ready to do my Great Berserk second video and how excited that all is. Exciting. But obviously, I haven't fucking done anything on that piece of shit video. Instead, I've been writing Pokemon episodes, and it's so much fun. I should count up how many I've done, but they're all, like, out of order now. Like, I've done the second last one. Look at how long the second last episode is. It's 4 pages. Let's highlight this. This is longer than any video Elite has ever made. How is it that long? What did I say? 2,100 words for 1 entry. But it's like one of the last entries. How do I go on for this long? Because with these Pokemon League episodes, I do just, a lot of it is just recap. But like this is also a Pokemon League episode. And it's probably like 1,000 something. It's only like 900 words shorter. But anyway, I'm having a lot of fun going back through and watching the end of the Indigo League. So basically what I'm doing is I was for the longest time, as you should, I was doing them in the order of the ranking. So what did I get up to? Like, I'd done like 5 episodes. That's 5. That's 6. And then there's one more. Isn't there Bad to the Bone? That's 7. So I had done 7 episodes, started the 8th one, and then I was like, man, this shit's lame AF. So then I was like, why don't I just rewatch the Pokemon League episodes? Because they're fucking sick, bro. And so one of them is number 26, all fired up. That's the first one. And then, yeah, I was just going through and doing them in order of, like, release schedule. Well, it would be the other one than that one up there. But yeah, I could just do all these cool ones and then just fill in the littler ones as we go. I was talking to Elite RE about this. Oh my god, Heath is here. Pokemon Horizon's better. No, Heath, no, it's not true. It can't be true. Pokemon Horizons can't be funny. It's just a lame kids show. Not a cool kids show like I grew up with. Oh my god, we need a comment here, guys. Sandslash, we need to add that to the dictionary. Meowth, we need to add that to the dictionary. The problem is, even if I was to dedicate my whole entire livelihood, at the end of every sentence now, I just go to say Elite RE chat. It's bad. It's not good. I guess I only do it when I'm speaking into the microphone, because I've never done that in real life, so it's bad. But audience, that's not just Elite RE, he's here, proof. What was I even going to say? Even if I dedicated like the next month to solely working on this video, I still don't think I could get it out in that month. That's probably not true. But knowing my laziness, it won't happen. So it's like, I'm in two mindsets here where it can either just be, I just keep working on it till I get bored of it, which will probably happen soon. And in that case, when I come back to it again in like 2 months' time, then I'll be even closer to being done, and then I'll do it, and then we can just continue that cycle until it's actually done. Because at the pace I'm doing it now, I'm basically just doing 1 episode a day. Like, I rewatch the episode, I look through the notes I made on the episode at the time, then I draft out a fucking thingy here. And that's probably like an hour and a half's worth of work. The problem is I could just be spending another hour working on the Berserk video, and that would come out relatively soon too. But the problem is I really did want it to come out within like a month. And I feel like we're closer to 3 weeks than we are to 2 weeks. So when did this one come out? June 1st. I mean 3rd. So by like July 3rd, that's still very possible. That's like 13 days away. Maybe 30 days. So September, April, June. So yes, it is 13, not 14 days away. But whatever, a video doesn't have to come out after a month. We're still working more than we have previously. Do you know why there's only been 1 gym battle in 55 episodes now? And spoiler, they lost. Now that is kind of interesting. I forgot this fucking... What is the name of the reason? Pinento? What is it? Because we got Kalos, we got Alola, we've got the British one, and then we've got the Spanish one. Paldea. Of course I remember, Heath. Don't second guess me. I forgot that it had gyms because they're so forgettable in that game. But yeah, there's like an ice gym. And there's like a grass one at the beginning. There's an electric one with the VTuber YouTuber. She's not a VTuber at all, by the way. I'm trying to remember other ones. There was like the normal dude who then comes back and is an Elite Four member. So there's some gyms in here, but they're lost. That's interesting. Weren't they already teasing Ash coming back or something, or was that fake news that I just got from Twitter? You'll have to inform me, Heath. But both can be cool. We don't have to fight, guys. Come on now. Rudius is at fault for everything bad in Mushoku Tensei Season 2, Episode 22. Oh my god, should we watch it? Let's get Chibi reviews. We gotta get caught up on Chibi reviews. I kind of do want to watch it, huh? Why the fuck not? The Fall of Oni Plays. Oh, it's like a meme video. Oh, because he falls down. Haha. Oh yeah, I remember this clip. Oh my god, it is that old. Anyway, oh my god, it's Preston's weird fucking thingy that Minty kind of liked. Reggie Drago got a huge buff. Oh my god, there's so much shit we should watch. When's are we getting a cichlid video, you know? We never getting it. Oh my god, I got so many streamer shit on here. Nobody understands Chainsaw Man. Oh my god, we should watch this one too. Oh my god, there's an E3 donkey video, but I'm like 50 donkey videos behind. I really haven't watched any goddamn videos. Huh? Let's open the Excel spreadsheet real quick. Oh, I love it when it does it like this. I don't know why it ever does, but it does it commonly. Let's close this. Oh my god, I watched a great Roller Coaster Tycoon video. Everybody want me to talk about that. Best Pokemon in every Pokemon game. That was kind of a fun video. It was just basically Gyarados a bunch of times, so that was funny. Pokemon are revealed a generation early. Oh my god, this was like a Pokemon anime video. There's been a few interesting ones of those, like the one about Misty that I talked about. This Inyako girl talking about a bunch of anime. A wrestling video. Oh my god, I watched a bunch of Nerd Writer videos. They were all probably pretty good. Poetry videos. I love them, chat. I'm a poet. I feel like I must have talked about this at some point, but this growing up trans with the Pokemon Adventures manga is really great. Did I even ever talk about this Lemino video? It was okay. What was this? The depressing state of the anime industry? I don't remember this at all. That might have been something I watched with Elite Ori on stream. Me and Elite Ori are going to do a stream soon where we react to Black Lagoon, my Black Lagoon video, so that'll be fun. What is this shit? Oh my god. Watching Chibi reviews, guys. I'm so excited. Oh my god, we got a Reggie Draco. I don't know its viability, but I'm about to be informed.
Is receiving a huge buff in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet. Previously, it only really used Dragon moves due to its Dragon's Maw ability, which would multiply its offensive stat 1.5 times while using a Dragon-type attack. And Dragon-type attacks were really all Reggie Draco had. Draco Meteor,
God, both of the fucking new Reggies look ugly.
Dragon Energy and Outrage are all incredibly powerful, but Dragon coverage is shut down by Fairy types and resisted by Steels. And a Fairy type like Togekiss easily shrugged off all the coverage moves Regidrago had, like Thunderfang on Dragon Dance sets and Ancient Power on Choice Spec sets. But when it eventually comes to Pokemon Scarlet
How does it counter Thunderfang?
and Violet, it learns Earthquake and Earth Power, allowing Dragon Dance and Choice Spec sets to break through Pokemon like Heatran. Fairy types better watch out. Not only does Terastallizing allow it to set up on them if it becomes Steel or Poison type, but it also gives them a strong move in Terra Blast that can beat them 1v1, making Regidrago a huge threat. Regidrago.
So which video are we going to get further in? Nobody understands Chainsaw Man? We're getting like a minute in before I quit from this boring fuck. This idiot is at least entertainingly stupid.
For this Chainsaw Man chapter. I enjoyed it. I think it was interesting. I think it shows Denji, Asa, and War in a very peculiar light. After the horrific event that just happened, a lot of people were banking on this.
Why don't I just call her War instead of Yuko?
A revelation, or wanted to see something extravagant come from all of this, right? But in typical Fujimoto fashion, we're just back to the norm. Just an everyday trip. We're back on the train. We're back going to get food. We're heading towards sushi. It's normal. And it is that Fuji event Chainsaw Man chapter. I enjoyed it. I think it was interesting. I think it shows Denji, Asa, and War in a very peculiar light. After the horrific event that just happened, a lot of people were banking on this massive revelation, or wanted to see something extravagant come from all of this, right? But in typical Fujimoto fashion, we're just back to the norm. Just an everyday trip. We're back on the train. We're back going to get food. We're heading towards sushi. It's normal. And it is that discomfort within the normal which feels eerie. I mean, just look at Denji's reactions throughout this whole chapter. How is he meant to feel? What is going through his mind? How is his emotions? But also, how is Asa? She's confused. She doesn't know what's going on.
I want to kill myself. What the fuck is this? God, being a true gamer-gator. Let's watch this.
DLC review. What's this? Hours into playing Elden Ring, Shadow of the Erdtree, realizing it's paralleling my real life. Until Elden Ring, I avoid Souls-like. I hit a wall in Dark Souls Remastered and gave up. Barely touched Bloodborne and avoided Sekiro like it was a poison swamp. In the real world, I have mostly avoided the ire of homophobes and misogynists in games industry, writing an article that temporarily shakes them up before fading into relative obscurity once Reddit refreshes. But now I'm willingly subjecting myself to an arduous adventure, running headfirst into a proverbial wall just to shake it up, back up, and run into it again. Outside the lands between and Shadow Realm, I spent nearly 4 months as the subject of a near-endless harassment campaign.
Maybe say we don't want you around if you're going to be
accountable,
and that the games industry is diverse because the world is diverse. You stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically.
It feels at times
like I vaguely remember this video.
And that the games industry is diverse because the world is diverse. You stupid motherfucker. And if you have a problem with that, come fight me physically.
It feels at times like logging on for a day of
That's
work.
pretty based. I like physical threats.
Because it to walking through my boss's door over and over again. Before I even make the connection between my real world and FromSoft's game world, I subconsciously attack the Shadow of the Erdtree with dogged determination. As if besting a boss would bleed into my everyday and imbue me with a higher tier of self-confidence. Much like it feels to receive near-endless hate comments from anonymous accounts or angry middle-aged men, I faced Shadow of the Erdtree entirely alone. No multiplayer summons would work for me in early access, a feature I relied on in the base game. So I faced it solo, and after almost 20 hours came out.
Wait a moment. 2 straight weeks? 2 straight weeks? 2 straight weeks?
For this? No, boys. Surely all of her time is put on the article itself. Let's read.
After touching the withered hand of Miquella in the Mogwin Palace mausoleum, I am transported to the realm of shadow. I walk up a small, narrow path before emerging into a massive open plain. In the distance, the Hallig Tree.
That's not the Hallig Tree.
A giant diaphanous veil drapes over it and the surrounding lands. Between myself and the Hallig Tree.
That's not the Hallig Tree. That's the Skadu Tree. The fact that Kotaku gets a preview code and Massive Souls content creators like Ziostorm don't is insane.
It's a mimic. You expected a treasure trove of information about the game, got trauma dumping instead. This is like, this reads like one of those letters that like a soldier in the Civil War or like World War I sends home to his...
She was just doing creative writing, please, guys, Well, very entertaining. Now, if we want entertainment, we know where to go.
Was Rudy at fault for what happened to Paul here? And should he have listened to the Man God's advice before even making this journey to the desert continent?
Oh, yeah, the Man God was like, you're going to regret it because Paul's fucking dead, bro. Wait, are we going to find out that if he didn't go, Paul would have been alive and they would have succeeded? But what if they find out that, like, oh, then Tallyhand and, Geese would have died, the two ones he cares about the least, but Roxy and Paul would have survived, and then he wouldn't have regretted it? Oh, that could...
This labyrinth to save Zenith and to also save Roxy. There's a lot to discuss here, and this is something that's been...
Or in that weird timeline where he doesn't exist, that would be crazy. See, I'm a theory crafter, chat, so that's what we do with our Mushoku Tensei content.
Kind of actively eating away at my mind for the last few days now, ever since basically the latest episode 22 of Mushoku Tensei Season 2 came out. And
oh my god, he's literally playing shit on Crunchyroll, and Alita freaks out when I show a manga-y thing, and this is the most famous YouTuber of all time. I'm gonna kill Alita one of these days.
There's a lot of discourse and a lot of discussion around kind of what could have been, what could have been changed, and what could have Rudy done differently for the outcome of what just happened within this arc.
I think Shiba Reviews should make a rewriting video, We love those videos. We love him. A match made in heaven, if you ask me.
Been as bleak as it was, because anyone that has sat down and watched this episode of Mushoku Tensei knows what happened.
Oh my god, Heath, were you hear when I was jerking off your great comment?
Paul straight up, he dies. He's half the man he once was, and he smiles in his final words towards Rudy, like he just...
He's half the man he once was, chat. Do you get it?
Smiles, and that's it. Lights go out. And then to kind of put the cherry on top, once all this is said and done, after the sacrifice of Rudy's father, Paul, Zenith wakes up, and she has literally no memory. She just seems to be basically acting like an infant, because she doesn't speak or anything like that. So it's like, everything went wrong. Anything that could have went right for Rudy kind of went wrong in, the latest episode of Mushoku Tensei. The only thing that's necessarily went right for him ever since he got here is basically saving Roxy. That's really the only takeaway you can get from this entire arc, is that everything of Rudy's decisions pretty much led to the point where he almost lost, or he pretty much did lose his whole family almost, which is legitimately sad. So let's dive head first into this. Let's talk about it. So, what could have Rudy done differently here, for obviously Paul wouldn't have died? I guess let's start off with...
I think there's a pretty direct thing in the episode where he gets distracted for a second, and maybe he shouldn't have done that.
Man God. And what he said a few episodes back, he gave Rudy two different options. He basically said, Rudy, stay at the academy, be ready for your child, from Sylphie, and eventually when the mating season comes around, go after the two Beast Girls and, choose them as your two wives. That's pretty much what he implied, or choose one of them as his wife.
That I've been seeing
it was a very interesting subject, because basically the Man God came on to Rudy saying,
what
like, hey,
Paul going to say?
You already get another one and all that, and you should not go to the desert continent.
My boy is milking this goddamn episode. This is the third or fourth video. I wanted to Uso Chan fans. He gets some views with this, The manga community is losing their mind over this anime announcement. I don't know what the fuck this is. What's this, Heath? Give me the rundown. Bochi did rock. Outsold solo leveling? Twitter cancel. I still never watched all these Chainsaw Man videos.
Be able to save your mother. And obviously, thanks to circumstances with, Aisha and all that Norn, it eventually led to Rudy disregarding what the Man God says to go and save his mother Zenith and help out Paul on that journey. Which, thanks to those actions, it led him to being able to save Roxy. But the point of the matter is let's just go on a hypothetical and say,
understand,
if Rudy did decide to stay at, his home, where the academy is, what would have happened to Roxy? Well, as I've already kind of laid it out for everybody, Roxy probably would have succumbed to starvation, death by monster, whatever. Nobody would have been potentially able to make it in time. Because obviously the reason why they got into the dungeon so quickly to fight her,
Roxy could have died.
To Paul jumping in and pushing Rudy out of the way. Now, here's the thing, okay? Obviously, Paul died thanks to Rudy being there. Like, in a way, if Rudy wasn't there, Paul wouldn't have taken that hit by the Hydra.
He's still saying the same thing,
If Rudy was not present, would the team been able to survive this? Would they have been ready for the fire breath? Who really knows? That's up in the air. But let's just go on a limb here and say hypothetically the team would have been able to deal with this because they've heard about fire breath. They're a veteran group that has fought a lot of monsters, etc. Even if this Hydra is out of the realm of normal, it's very different from a normal monster. It's very clear that once
they surely would have survived. Roxy would have died without Rudy and Paul's party. Wouldn't have reached the Hydra without the blueprints. Oh my god, destroyed with facts and logic. Didn't come. Roxy would be dead. Heart. Rudy was defenseless when the Hydra started to rampage. True. Okay. Well, I thought that was like his chapter review, but I don't really want to watch his chapter review now, so. Tipsy is here. Chibi is hilarious, bruh. He's a funny young man. Oh, I was supposed to have things to do this stream, by the way. Also, I had a bunch of fucking articles and shit. Look at these boobs, chat. You think Twitch is going to get mad about that? Why the fuck am I getting Ludwig clips? What's going on? Oh my god, Pokemon Battle Revolution. Now that's a fucking thing. Oh, I bet this Berserk be like will be really funny. Remind me, chat, that I'm supposed to be doing something after I get done clicking all my links here. I don't want to watch any of this.
So, yeah, I plan on
Oh my god, he's gonna freak out and then kill everybody and then rape his girlfriend.
my own dream by...
Bro wants his own dream.
Oh, it's like the music. Well, I think we should have stuck with chibi reviews, you know? Here is what I'm saying. Anyway, these are all old as fuck ideas. I have a brand new stream document, and then what did I have here? These are all old notes, by the way. I remember my document of tropes document. We got Reddit threads. We got do we want to do a Nuzlocke? Now, that is actually something I want to talk about, because I think the answer is yes. The best Berserk videos. I've kind of been doing that in the background, kind of reacting. Some may say that's what we've been doing all stream. Now, I had this idea when I initially came back, where it was like, we would do 3 streams a week. 1 would be a Nuzlocke, 1 would be reacting, and then 1 would be topical. And I'd come up with a topic and stuff. And we would do 3 streams a week, and we would do Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday or something. Then I and I also have I think this is not the worst idea. I've never even actually tried this for a week. Like, I could try it for 1 week, chat. Surely I could do that. And I'm kind of interested in doing a Nuzlocke again. We can do Crystal, or we can do Ruby or Sapphire or Emerald. I think I would probably do Ruby or Sapphire, just because it has a better final boss fight. We've tried the Crystal thing. The only problem is I have to make an outline thingy. Do I still have the Nuzlocke thingy? I think I do, right? Nuzlocking? Oh my god, like this? But it would have to be for, Oh my god, the mic doesn't come through when I'm going to the Nuzlocking thing, but you see it, chat. It looks like this. Crazy. I should make one of those for Pokemon Crystal. But I also want to upload more to the second channel, because we can't just let Elite win. Mushoku Tensei is going to be over in 3 weeks, and he's going to be crying. He's going to be whimpering, asking for some viewership, like he used to. And we can catch him and lap him and get 1,000 subscribers easy. And also, it's good to just have a second channel. Is it even good to have a second channel? Are these things I should be focusing on? These are all great questions. I think we just need to do a fun theme with the Nuzlocke. Now, obviously, we did... The first one we ever did was an Attack on Titan theming one, and then I lost at Misty. Now, that was actually okay. Then we did the chatter one, but stream was a lot more popular then, and I really can't do chatters anymore because we don't have enough chatters. Now, part of the strategy here would be do a Nuzlocke stream, then I would cut it up or edit it some way, and then put it on secondary ENT. Which I think is possible, especially if I only have to do 1 a week. And at the end I could say, tune in Tuesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific, 12 a.m. 7 time. 7 time, that's my favorite time zone. We could do some stupid shit like that. I don't know, I like the idea. The theming, we could do a character one again. Like, to do a Mushoku Tensei character one would be pretty funny. But even outside of that, we could do, like... I don't think we could do House of the Dragon, because I would want to spoil things, so it would be funny. Like, you can always just do the Tried and True Berserk one, or something like that. We can come up with something. Chainsaw Man, etc. So I think we can do that. Reacting, I think, is still a good idea. And topical ones are pretty good. I had a bunch of articles up, but I can't remember any of the articles I had up. And then my fucking laptop reset, and I forgot to reopen all the tabs and shit. So that's fucked up. I want to react to this fucking Super Eye Patch Wolf Berserk video. Because fuck it. Even if it takes like 3 streams. Why not? Should we start it now, chat? I kind of want to. I'm kind of on an impulse right now. We should try to stream more. How many times have you heard me say that over the years, chat? And structure it a little bit more. But yeah, I think that's about where we're at with that. And just do... and reinforce it with the secondary ENT channel, etc., etc.
Berserk began in 19...
Because I still haven't seen past like the second minute, alright? And let's see if this video is good or not. Look, I already liked it. It must be good.
Berserk began in 1989 in Monthly Animal House magazine, written and illustrated by Kentaro Miura, a man as talented as he was.
Oh yeah, I pointed out that this is a cool Animal House cover. I've never seen this
illustrated by Kentaro Miura.
And this is a weird image of Miura I've never seen before.
A man as...
Now, so you know, Super Butchwolf got in trouble one time for using wrong images of people. Hopefully he's not doing that again.
Talented as he was handsome. Berserk's first page showed its main character Guts having...
Oh, and I bet I pointed out that he stole this from my videos. You know, all my old videos used to have this as the background image rather than a moving manga panel. It was just blurred out. And by this, I mean the movie intro in the background.
Relations with a woman before she transforms into a horrifying demon thing, and Guts blasts her...
Now, this is also a new Super Butchwolf thing where he's doing this style of comedy in front of a green screen. Now, I've definitely seen one of his videos, or maybe two of them, in this style. But remember when he was serious and had a cool voiceover? I'm sure that'll come back. And I don't expect this to all be a green screen in front of a green screen video. But let's see.
With his arm...
I'm excited. You're the only one... Oh no, hold on, I fucked up the line, chat. I'm auditioning for the fan anime. The only one trapped is you, bitch!
Canon.
Pretty good line, huh?
And that is a start, but out of this first page would grow an incredible story of struggle and survival, taking place in this massive world.
Bro, Berserk's about like struggling and surviving and vibing and, you know, saving your girlfriend and stuff.
Churning.
Yeah, real shit. Shit I'm going through every day, you know? That's really relatable to me.
Conflict, filled with characters so goddamn likable, nuanced, and complicated that I may...
Oh no, when he showed examples of cool characters, he just showed those fucking 3 losers, the ones I'm sick of.
Or may not have had to insert a dating simulator section later into this video just to communicate
oh my God,
their
he's having
appeal.
fun,
Berserk becoming so beloved that it defined Japanese dark fantasy. Do you like Dark Souls? Do you like ridiculously besworded sad boys? Well, buddy.
Do all of these sword idiots come from Guts? Did we ever establish this? Can somebody that knows something actually make a video about this, where the big boy with the sword came from? Is this in Guin Saga or one of those things Miura was ripping off? We need to get to the bottom of this, because, you know, I feel like most of these have to be, what do you call it, cloud influenced. Where is he? Here he is. He's pretty cool. You know, he's an anime boy. But hold on. Everybody hold on. Final Fantasy is cool and I... Remember that, chat? Only the real ones in chat remember that. Kill yourself. Actually, I want the world to be destroyed because when I put in Final Fantasy VII, it came out with this piece of shit new game's release date. Like I give a fuck about 2020. This shit came out before the anime was even out. So you're telling me that this fucking loser who's making a Final Fantasy game every year, becoming the biggest billionaire in the world, was paying attention to monthly Animal whatever he said, well, or whatever. That's the donkey game. Animal Monthly, whatever Berserk is in, saw this loser's first 3 volumes, or like 7 chapters or whatever, because remember, he doesn't have that giant sword, where the manga, I think the manga in the early 1997, not 2000, is starting to get back to the beginning of Conviction. But like the majority of the story has not had Guts with his giant sword at this point. So I don't know, chat. I think I just disproved it with facts and logic. I mean, maybe. He's probably into Japanese stuff. He's living in Japan. I don't know how popular Berserk is at the time. Probably not too popular, but I believe another creative could have his finger on the pulse. But he seems busy making video games. How many fucking Final Fantasy games did they make between Berserk starting and then? Wait, when did Final Fantasy 1 come out? Final Fantasy 1 release date. Oh, it beats Berserk, bro. That ain't fair. Nothing's older than Berserk. Miller the Killer. Why are you watching this? Because I want to, Miller the Killer, unless you've got something smart and funny to speak of. Did you watch House of the Dragon yet, Miller, or are you actually abstaining? We did make fun of you in our House of the Dragon review. You should be aware of that. You know, of course, I didn't want to. Alita remade me. Stop bumping the microphone, motherfucker. I'm trying to untangle headphones. And I was just doing investigative journalism. You saw it, Miller. What else should I be talking about? What does Miller want me to talk about? Hunter x Hunter. Now, that's all that old Chapter 2 title page. I've been looking at that for about a month. That was pretty cool, you know? One Piece, more like One I Forgot to Piss. I checked the spoilers on Twitter the other day. And by the other day, I mean last night. And by last night, I mean I scrolled through like 3 tweets and they didn't tell me anything, so I gave up.
You like Berserk. The series' influence only growing with the 1997 anime, which was really good. The 2012
we
film trilogy,
love
which,
1997. Hold on, he said something about the movies, but I spoke
which
over
was
it.
really good. The 2012 film trilogy, which, if you ignore some of that 3D, is really good, as well as the 2016 television anime.
Oh God, remember when Super Eye Patch Wolf made that seminal video on this series, and he's going to reference it in his plea here?
Which is... Overseas, however, it was kind of a different story. Berserk didn't get its first official Western release until 2000 with the Sega Dreamcast game Berserk Millennium.
That's right. The fucking the anime doesn't get dubbed till 2003, I think.
Falcon Arc chapter of the Flowers of Oblivion. But as early as 1994, people like Andrew from Kent State University were using Usenet profiles bellowing into the void that was the dial-up internet.
Hold on, this is actually... Hold on, Super Eye Patch Wolf is a great YouTuber, apparently, because this is crazy. He's got some 1994 Kent State dude talking about here. I want this raw. Get the fuck out the way, moron. I was hoping somebody could help me confirm that Berserk is a series by Kentaro Miura. I think he spelt it slightly wrong, but that's okay. From about 1990 to 1992, the magazine. Can anybody confirm this, please? What the fuck is going on here?
Desperate for any new information on Berserk and being met with only silence. Don't worry, Andrew. We are all here with you now because Berserk's influence.
That's kind of cool.
Began to
oh my God, fan subs or something over here. Do you think these are like memes or the actual ones? No, because it says fuck Sethroth 420 subs, and you can almost believe that that would be a thing. But I don't think Super iPad has the balls to anger Mother's Basement for advocating for fan subs. So anyway. No, I'd rather read the books. Shut up, Millie. You ain't doing shit, bitch. It's not even that good. Wait, watch the... Oh my God, Miller the Killer is a fucking genius. Now, we're watching this one next stream, or I'm going to watch it off because now I'm into it. Oh my God, I'm getting sexy clips. Anyway, Miller the Killer, never talk shit about him again. He's a fucking genius. Wait, no, it's on... Everybody, it's on the We Watch Anime channel, all right? I'm starting to get the programming, okay? I have... He's been...
It might seem...
I'm in trouble. She's been hyping this video up for a long, long time, chat. I've been seeing a multitude of streams between having to go and get the fat out of prison for harassing that one dude and Dick Masterson or something. She's been streaming a lot saying she's editing this video. I wonder if this is going to spoil RE. There's no way fucking she knows any Jujutsu Kaisen spoilers, right? Anyway, shut up. We're talking about Evangelion now.
It might seem weird to compare...
And we're not watching on 1 time speed. This is the god of AniTube we're listening to. Everybody shut the fuck up.
Jujutsu Kaisen against Neon
Shut up, I'm listening.
It might seem weird to compare Jujutsu Kaisen...
Wait, Miller, have you seen this yet?
Against Neon Genesis Evangelion. It might seem weird to compare Jujutsu Kaisen against Neon Genesis...
You know, my thirst thought was that it was weird.
This Evangelion, considering the shows are neither especially similar nor different enough to be considered as something like opposites. They are both action shows that involve the main character having to sort of control some sort of berserk monster in order to maybe prevent the apocalypse, but the similarities basically end there. I am presenting these shows not as opposites in theme or tone or subject matter, but rather in the style of storytelling that each one uses to reveal its world and character.
Because I remember content, and I remember Nate and B shitting on this fucking show. This show sucks. it's for losers, and I was like, yeah, new thing bad, yeah. That's pretty fucking funny, bro. I hate new things. But I've also heard her say recently that if you want a great action show, there you can't go past Jujutsu Kaisen. So, you know, whatever. I hope this video is just shitting on Jujutsu Kaisen the whole time. That's what I'm hoping for.
I don't know if these are necessarily the most perfect examples that I could have used to explain this whole idea. Maybe I could have found shows that seem more instinctively similar or dissimilar in other ways, but hopefully the point of choosing these two shows will become apparent once
You know, Davu used to put the anime in the corner, you know.
I start describing the ways in which these stories function. Making an extreme generalization, I think there are two shapes that a story can take. A circle or a spiral. And a spiraling story can either be presented as an inward spiral or an outward spiral. I'm going to
Get it, Gurren Lagann.
explain all of this until it makes sense. I swear to your waifu. So Dan Harmon, who co-created Rick and Morty, created Community, was head writer on both of those shows.
Wait, the Rick and Morty guy made Community?
Harmon, who co-created Rick and Morty. Well, it makes sense. I swear to your waifu. So Dan Harmon, who co-created Rick and Morty...
Wait, I feel like I always hear another name. Now, which one was raping? Because one of them was raping. Why are we coming on? What did I do wrong?
Community, was head writer on both of those shows. He popularized the idea of the story circle as a simplification of the concept of the hero's journey, which was famously conceived by Joseph Campbell in his book The Hero with a Thousand Faces. Story circles are founded in the historical sense of continued continuity, the idea that every story leads directly into another story, which inevitably hits many of the same beats as the previous story, because there's only so many ways that events can be structured to tell a naturally satisfying story. Circles of different sizes, sometimes with smaller circles inside of them, can be drawn around segments of larger stories to show the patterns of their author's thoughts every single time, often down to the page. Dan Harmon uses the circle as a shortcut to structuring episodes of TV shows specifically, and I would say that individual chapters or arcs of
Justin Rowland, the voice actor of Rick and Morty, was the raping guy. That is the name I remember hearing.
Comics and books are usually...
Now shut up, he's
and I
talking
would
about
say
watching.
that individual chapters...
Fuck, I did it again. We're deleting the VOD.
Or arcs of comics and books are usually, and I would say that individual chapters or arcs of comics and books are usually pretty much defined by the closing of small circles. However, there are ways to build your story circle.
Oh my god, it's 1999. This looks so much cooler than the shitty Hunter x Hunter version Miller had me watching.
Such that the greater sensation of the story is not that of one gigantic circle full of smaller circles, but instead of an oblong spiral moving inward toward singularity or outward toward infinity. Now, some of you might be thinking a spiral is a spiral. It can't be an inward or an outward spiral. It's a matter of perspective, which is true. So it's important that we consider the perspectives of
Midland Saga showing up.
The characters and of the audience in determining whether a story is following a spiral inward or outward. I'm going to use multiple examples in making my point, but ultimately presenting Jujutsu Kaisen as the premier example of outward spiral storytelling and Evangelion as a premier example of inward spiral storytelling.
Okay. I figured it out, chat. So Jujutsu Kaisen goes outward because it has a core idea and then everything is spun out of that. Whereas Evangelion has a idea which is like instrumentality, bro, and how everybody should just become one and then we would all be happy. But actually, we're all existential beings and we shouldn't do that and we should forge our own paths. And everything comes out of that. I got it. Tipsy's got a big old comment. This is not related at all, Kyle. If you know... how was the Alicent thing handled with Viserys, handled in the books versus the show, with the same, with the sense of how she misunderstood Viserys' wish on the deathbed? The whole thing with Rhaenyra ascending to the throne is something Viserys had been advocating for his whole life, which is why I'm a little confused Alicent would misinterpret it. I guess I should just read the rest of it. A little confused why Alicent would misinterpret that if she was going to usurp her son anyway, right? Or am I missing something? Well, I feel like it was kind of pointless. The misunderstanding thing is not mentioned at all in the book. Almost certainly didn't happen. I think it's just a way for the show to keep Alicent not the outright bad guy. Because Alicent is the most fundamentally changed character in the whole show. there are personality similarities, but really the conceit of House of the Dragon, the show, is that Rhaenyra and Alicent are like sisters and they fall off and break apart, basically. In the book, they are not sisters at all. It's it is stepmother and stepdaughter, and there's like a 15-year time difference between the two of them. So yeah, there's nothing about the misunderstanding. And I kind of like it is kind of stupid. Like, why would she just suddenly... Because the show sells it like she earnestly 100% thinks this was Viserys' wish. And he doesn't really directly say it. And obviously it's just a way to keep Alicent... Like, it's a way for her future actions to have an altruistic, original, like, motivation. I like that, because I like the idea of keeping Alicent as sort of like a good guy, kind of. The execution is a little iffy, because it is kind of silly. But now you're saying she's trying to usurp Aegon, which is not really true. She still wants Aegon to be on the throne. She just wants him to basically be a puppet ruler so she can rule, which would never be the case if Rhaenyra was around, because Daemon would fucking kill her or something in her sleep and then blame it on somebody else or something crazy, because Daemon's evil and we hate him. I feel like all stories spiral outwards, starts moving towards the climax, then spiral inward. I mean, it could just be a short series versus a long series thing, right? Where a long series is probably more likely to be a little central idea that then spirals out and we end up going different places because the author has multiple years to come up with new ideas that they want to incorporate. Whereas Evangelion is a 26-episode anime. And all the other iterations of it are just sort of retellings. So it's like, well, you can plan it out much better because it's short. I also agree. I'm a big Alicent guy. I just felt that scene was weird. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how else they could have done it. They could have just had Viserys say things that could have been more easily interpreted. Like, maybe he's like, Alicent, I made a mistake, Aegon, or something like that. Even that would be more direct, but anyway. So glad I dropped House of the Dragon. It's such a messy show. True, Miller, true.
Part 1, the Evangelion, presenting Jujutsu Kaisen as the premier example of outward spiral storytelling, and Evangelion as a premier example of inward spiral storytelling. Part 1, the outward spiral. If you know anything at all about spiral storytelling. Part 1, the outward spiral. If you know anything at all about the alternative rock band Tool, you probably know about this one song they have called Lateralis.
This is the song where it follows some mathematic sequence. That's probably this Fibonacci thing or something with the time signatures or something, and it's supposed to be like the coolest thing that anybody's ever made in music.
Storytelling. Part 1, the outward spiral. If you know anything at all about the alternative rock band Tool, you probably know about this one song they have called Lateralis that's structured around the Fibonacci sequence, the golden spiral, created by continually adding a number to the previous number. In these lyrics, singer Maynard James Keenan compares the human experience to the outward spiral of the Fibonacci sequence, because we all begin with a very limited ability to perceive reality, which expands as we grow in a literal, physical, and mental sense. The lyrics continue into a mantra when Keenan seems to be shouting at him.
Wait, hold on, I need what do you use to draw? Paint. So we're like saying that like the spiral is like, you start with 1 here, and then you spiral, and now the 1 + 1 is 2, but then you go and add 1 to this number, which makes that 2, so 2 + 1 is 3, and then you add 1 to this one, and then that's 2, it goes 4, and then you add 1 to this one, and this one's 5. And that's like a spiral, I guess. That makes sense.
Himself to spiral out, keep going, because reaching for the random or whatever
and the number gets bigger each time, bro. Just like your brain gets bigger after each day because you have new experiences.
Me, following my will and whim, I may just go.
Wait, hold on. There's another interpretation here. Now, I think what's the undermining of this video is going to be that this is also general, that you can make anything fit it. But like, Evangelion slowly reducing things to their essential elements, whereas Jujutsu Kaisen is slowly like doing the opposite, where we're getting these new elements and we're finding out more detailed things about these characters, etc.
Where no one
Miller's sleeping to music. I'm sorry, Kyle. I think this video is gonna suck. Now it's already
Will
peak.
bewilder me, following my keep into a mantra when Keenan seems to be shouting at and
Hold on, I'm
begins
not
to
listening.
the outward spiral of the Fibonacci sequence. Because we all begin with a very limited ability to perceive reality, which expands as we grow in a literal, physical, and mental sense. The lyrics continue into a mantra when Keenan seems to be shouting at himself to spiral out, keep going. Because reaching for the random or whatever will bewilder me, following my will and whim, I may just go where no one's been. Spiral out, keep going. I have always taken this song as a matter of personal ethos. Now, when I talk about spirals in storytelling, Gurren Lagann is the anime that's obviously literally built in the structure of a spiral. The imagery of the drill even pervades all of its designs. Thematically, the message of the series is even pretty similar to that of the song Lateralis by Tool. However, this video isn't about the themes of the show, except for specifically in how the structure of the show reflects those themes. The first episode of Gurren Lagann forms a perfect story circle. We learn everything there is to know about our two main characters, whose only stated goal is to escape their underground village, and then we see them escape at the end of the episode, leaving the rest of the story to essentially be invented out of the questions that were raised by the nature of their escape. The intrusion of Vegan men into their town can be seen on the show's timeline as the place where the next story circle intersects with the first one on the Great Story Venn diagram chain spiral. So the first episode is our singular point. Add to that another singular point, episode 2. We introduce a new goal, capture a Ganmen, and we complete that circle by the episode's end. But in the third episode, Kamina faces an opponent who survives the encounter and does not accomplish a specific stated goal, opening up the story to feel inconclusive at the end of the episode for the first time. The episode's story still follows a circular structure in and of itself, but it leaves the feeling that this smaller circle only transgressed but so far into a bigger circle that we have entered along with it. In the same way that if you're just reading the Fibonacci sequence out by numbers, the jump from 8 to 13 feels so much more substantial than the jumps that you had earlier in the spiral. Gurren Lagann has such a huge change in circumstances in its 8th episode, and the closing of such a larger circle than before, that our whole
Is that when he fucking dies, bro?
conception of the story feels significantly larger by the time we come around to episode 13. However, Gurren Lagann is only 26 episodes long, and I would say that it's fashioned more in the spiral of a drill than in the fashion of a Fibonacci spiral, which isn't the same. What I mean by this is that while each rung on a drill's spiral covers a longer distance around than the previous one, it only travels the same amount upward each time. When you get toward the end of Gurren Lagann, the scale of each episode keeps increasing proportionally to the last every episode, capping out at the widest rung it conceivably could reach on the story spiral by the final episode. This makes for an incredibly hype run of television and a very fun way to just drill through every layer of a story spiral in rapid succession, but it's not as pure a realization of the outward spiral as a storytelling style as Jujutsu Kaisen is. Like in the case of Gurren Lagann, the first episode of Jujutsu Kaisen establishes everything necessary to know about its protagonist and essentially tells an open and shut story, with the intrusion of a larger story into it marking a total disconnect between the former life of the characters and their new ones. After that, the structure of the story gets very weird. It keeps seeming to shift gears in the early episodes, before settling into this very domestic level arc about a kid who befriends the protagonist and is corrupted by evil by the antagonist until they have to fight to the death, sort of. Not dissimilarly to Gurren Lagann, the whole tone and feeling of Jujutsu Kaisen shifts as it transpires from arc to arc. But unlike in Gurren Lagann, and more similarly to in Homestuck, which would take too long to explain, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as—
Miller's freaking out. He knows everything about Homestuck, just like me. The manga is currently reintroducing and wrapping up the story of every single character, getting smaller and in scope. Every battle shonen does this after a certain point. Reintroducing and wrapping the story of every single character. No, Naruto doesn't wrap up these fucking characters. It doesn't give a fuck. Does it? No, Naruto's like introducing characters in the final arc, you know? And, you know, just doing crazy shit like that. I'm trying to think of a single story, but, like, that's the only battle shonen I've seen to the end, I guess.
As following the
Except for
spiral—
Attack on Titan, my favorite battle shonen.
Each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach—
Dragon Ball Z certainly doesn't do that.
You know what I mean? Reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as following the spiral in real time.
No, I wasn't
Too long
listening.
to explain, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral.
How does Attack on Titan do this? Like with Gabby stuff? Is that it? Or are we just talking about focusing on each individual character and giving them an ending? Because that's impossible to do in Naruto. It's not like, what's the fucking dog idiot's name? Kiba is getting any sort of ending. I guess, depending on how you define ending, I don't know.
Takes as long to reach as following the spiral new Homestuck, which would take too long to explain, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as following the spiral in real time.
I wasn't listening for the fifth time.
If you know what I mean, you know what I mean. Reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as following the spiral in real time.
Reaching each new rung takes as long as the something?
Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as following the spiral in rung.
I swear this is the last time, Chad. I promise.
Too long.
Maybe I should just go back.
A very domestic level arc about a kid who befriends the protagonist and is corrupted by evil by the antagonist until they have to fight to the death, sort of. Not dissimilarly to Gurren Lagann, the whole tone and feeling of Jujutsu Kaisen shifts as it transpires from arc to arc. But unlike in Gurren Lagann, and more similarly to in Homestuck, which would take too long to explain, but if you know what I mean, you know what I mean, reaching each new rung of Jujutsu Kaisen's spiral takes as long to reach as following the spiral in real time, rather than hopping across them up the drill. Another way of putting it is that Gurren Lagann uses the spiral shape as a tool that pierces through the story, whereas in Jujutsu Kaisen, the story follows its main character running up the spiral, traveling its pathway into infinity. One way of putting it dismissively is that it takes a long time for something to happen that feels like it really matters in Jujutsu Kaisen. But every time it happens, it shakes the entire foundation of how the audience and the characters understand the story. And moreover, those realizations are
Now, I thought this video was about Evangelion.
made satisfying because of just how much legwork it took to reach them. Gurren Lagann may be a hell of a marathon watch, but Jujutsu Kaisen has that One Piece ability of being just so complicated and so large of a story that a revelation which recontextualizes everything has a lot more implications and will spiral the viewers inwardly to a lot more thought than what Gurren Lagann was capable of in its only 26 episodes. And yes, One Piece is also an outward spiral story, but like Homestone, the revelation which recontextualizes everything has a lot more
When am I going to get my ADHD drugs, chat?
implications and will spiral the viewers inwardly to a lot more thought than what Gurren Lagann was capable of in its only 26 episodes. And yes, One Piece is also an outward spiral story, but like Homestuck is too old and too long for me to use in my 2024 anime video. Jujutsu Kaisen's Shibuya arc feels
Fuck
bigger.
One Piece. That's what I've been saying this whole time. Annie coming back and get a conclusion. I can't remember if I read that out loud or in my head. And all the factions are just too simple, good versus bad. Yeah, this shit makes no sense. Or maybe, Miller, it's our problem and we should just be smarter.
Than the
But
entire
I think it makes kind of sense.
show preceding it, right from the beginning. There's so many new and established elements at play, so much higher stakes, and such a different understanding on the viewer's part.
Also, I expected Miller to go, Jujutsu Kaisen's really simple. It's not complicated, idiot.
Of the full situation.
False advertising video, lol. Tipsy saying, no, I am assuming we're getting to Evangelion.
And after seeing the backstory arc that came right before it, that when the really crazy shit starts happening at the back end of this arc, it feels like none of that would have even happened if any of those people had any idea what was really going on. Without spoiling too much, but leaping deeper into the manga, eventually...
Get out of here, Elitari!
We reach a point in the story where even the characters who most understand what is happening are learning new shit that recontextualizes their understanding of what's going on in the story. You have this sense that even though the characters are working...
There's no way Jujutsu Kaisen has recontextualization, bro. Jujutsu Kaisen sucks and recontextualization is good.
Against one another in their conflicts, the
Jujutsu Kaisen is overly complex? Okay, Miller the Killer, I'm sorry.
universe of the story itself is conspiring to bring...
See this idiot on screen? I have no context for him. He doesn't exist in my mind. I don't know this famous Jujutsu Kaisen character, so...
all of them further and further up the spiral through infinity. Now, describing this might not sound like that unusual a form of storytelling, and
that was, Yuji.
isn't necessarily, especially for epic thrillers full of recontextualizing
Oh my god, that was the Hydra from the Mushoku Tensei episode I just watched.
Revelations. However, I think it is rare that a series is so thematically dedicated to realizing the concept of the outward spiral. Jujutsu Kaisen can be
Monkey D. Luffy, what the fuck?
Dedicated to realizing the concept of the outward spiral. Jujutsu Kaisen can be frustrating for me for just how much of the story's logic
Bro's decapitated head was running. That was pretty cool.
Has to be parsed through its vague language to understand why any of the shit that's happening is possible. It feels like solving a math equation, and what the characters are doing is often bordering on science, so the answers aren't even clear to them in the moment. Even the fans who study this manga like scripture have lots of lingering questions about certain functions that they're hoping will be addressed by the end of the story. And author Gege Akutami has done well to keep his cards close to his chest, with the audience at this point knowing about as much as any of the characters in the story do about what's going on, and that being less than what the author must know. This revelatory aspect is, in my opinion, completely integral to Jujutsu Kaisen's success. If, after the audience had to puzzle out all this bullshit and try to wrap their heads around it, Gege just introduced some new god-tier character who knows exactly what's happening and gives the heroes the knowledge they need to resolve the conflict, the story would immediately go to complete shit. However, Jujutsu Kaisen does a great job of making you feel like all of the cards are already on the table. You know who the very most powerful characters are from the very early into the story, and it becomes that their attempts to deal with one another are what ripple out to define the rest of all the other relationships and events in the series. It feels like you're discovering how things work along with the characters, and it makes it that much more satisfying to see how characters will react to the revelations made by other characters. So that's outward spiral storytelling, where we just keep learning more and more and more and more until we learn something so crazy it changes all the other information. What about if we go the other way? Part 2, the inward spiral. So
it's Evangelion, guys. Anyway, I got a question. I thought it said Wano, but it says something. Heath's saying something. No way characters are learning new things. That is revolutionary writing. Oh my god, Heath's having a Miller moment. Respect Jujutsu Kaisen, Tipsy's telling me. Put the gun away, Tipsy. I'm sorry. All the recontextualization is about the power system and the character lineage. It's shit no sane people give a shit about. Oh my goodness. A god character coming in and explaining what's happening literally happens after the anime Lamau. Jujutsu Kaisen has the worst exposition in fiction, to be honest. I don't get this praise at all. Oh my god. It sounds like Tipsy's gonna have to fight Miller and Heath here. This is crazy.
So how is Neon...
Now everybody shut the fuck up. We're talking about real shit now.
What about if we go the other way? Part 2, the inward spiral. So how is Neon Genesis Evangelion the opposite of any of that? I'm sure you could apply a lot of what I just said to Eva if you wanted to, but for the sake of this analytical thought experiment, I'm going to present how the overall feeling of Eva's story is that of spiraling inward towards singularity instead of spiraling outward toward infinity, if there really is a difference in those things. Scientists sometimes theorize that the universe expands and contracts over its life like a giant space lung. Space keeps expanding until negative space hyperdense black holes which begin inhaling all of the other space around them until they explode in a big bang and begin to expand all over again. Theoretically, the universe began and will end with the construction of a supermassive black hole that big bangs into another universe. If the outward spiral story is about going and going and going until entropy takes you, the inward spiral is about getting sucked into the hyperdense collision of all reality right when it's about to blow. I touched on the nature of apocalyptic anime stories in a video I haven't released yet called Everything is Devilman, but Evangelion and
Called what? No, I stole it from her originally. It's okay.
Devilman are both so specifically released yet called Everything is Devilman, but Evangelion and Devilman...
Because I didn't call that video... No, that's in the ambiguity and action video. Okay, this is sick.
Are both so... Video I haven't released yet called Everything is Devilman, but Evangelion and Devilman are...
2 peas in a pod we are, chat, you know.
Both so specifically cyclical that the only way they've ever been sequel is collision of all reality right when it's about to blow. I touched on the nature of apocalyptic anime stories in a video I haven't released yet called Everything is Devilman, but Evangelion and Devilman are both so specifically cyclical that the only way they've ever been sequelized is by restarting the story with just slight differences over and over in the universe next door, following the story to similar conclusions. Watching Evangelion, it takes forever to feel like anything is particularly happening. Its first episode is not a complete circle at all. It ends in the heat of the action, and its second episode interrupts that circle even further.
She's always been astonished by this fact. It's really cool. She's made like 7 videos about how Ava ends before the fight happens. It's fun.
By jumping ahead in the action. And its second episode interrupts that circle even further by jumping ahead in time to a totally different story circle and then completing that first one in a flashback, all seemingly to undercut the feeling of completeness in that story. Now, there are some more standard feeling story circles in a lot of the middle episodes to keep the show feeling entertaining, but it still feels like the story is just establishing its status quo by the time you're halfway fucking into it. You meet a ton of characters in this first half, and you understand all of them to be working in service of rescuing humanity from the menace of the angels, but it's also obvious that everyone has their own intentions and motivations that they're not talking about. Episode after episode, we feel like we're trying to get into these people's heads and understand why these things are happening the way they are, even though the situation itself is only changing in what I would describe as non-historical ways from the viewer's perspective, episode after episode. This changes completely in the show's second half, when suddenly it feels like every episode is revealing someone's real motivations or intentions, giving us a whole new understanding of everything we saw.
How did I break it down in the fucking Ray video? It's like actually like episode 17 and onward, I think.
Before. Unlike in Jujutsu Kaisen, where we feel like we have a similar grasp of the situation to the characters who are causing that situation to change, in Evangelion we are constantly realizing how the characters have been keeping one another from the truth, and how everything that happened already was exactly as someone or other intended. By the time Shinji or the audience knows exactly what is going on in this story, it's already time for Shinji to make the only decision that really has any consequences in the story, which changes depending on which version of the story or which round of the cycle you're watching. In a sense,
does it now?
Evangelion is a story about coming to understand the universe completely by way of ending it in
I can't believe I've only seen that 4th movie once.
Singularity.
What are we doing here, chat?
And then deciding what the next universe is going to be based on your understanding of the previous one. In that sense, you could think of Shinji from the Rebuild movies as being the version of himself that Shinji would have decided to be if he had been able to go back and tell himself what to do at the end of the original show. The Rebuild movies are definitely that for Hideaki Anno. Now, Inward Spirals are not limited to apocalyptic epics. Welcome to the NHK is another story that starts with a broad lens on a small person's life, and it keeps getting smaller until it implodes and has to explode back outwards. Serial Experiments Lane raises an interesting question as to what kind of story it is. Perhaps an outward spiral that collapses and falls back in on itself and then has to explode back out again at the end, the complete cycle? Maybe I'm fucking insane. Anyway, let me know if this thought experiment made any sense whatsoever to you in the comments. And if you could think of other great examples of outward spiral and inward spiral storytelling, let me know about them. And always remember to never forget anime forever.
Now, chat, I'll say at the end of this video, I'm a little bit confused. But, you know, sometimes that's okay. Sometimes that's what happens when you encounter genius, you know? Can't read JJK, it's funny. JJK is leading towards all humanity merging towards in a literal instrumentality ripoff. What is she talking about? Well, that's what Naruto did, so, you know, it's probably just ripping off Naruto. A much better manga. Naruto sucks as a manga. It only exists in animation form. Surely she brings up the instrumentality and humanity merge as similarities, right? This video is fundamentally flawed if she doesn't. Well, it's not about the actual events of the plot, Millie, you see. It's about how they're told. Haven't you been paying attention? And also, I assume all the manga knowledge she has in this is just things she's heard. Because that's a very tricksy thing to do. Though she does have that manga Mondays thing or whatever. I don't know if she's been reading that. I know she's been reading Free Ren. But I haven't actually watched any of those videos, so I have no idea what this video is about. I swear Gurren Lagann got more focus than Ava. What a terrible video. Is it? If the title doesn't reflect the actualization of the video, is it truly a poor video? Oh. So I just watched Sonny Boy in 2024. Oh my god, that's going to be me for real soon. Let's see these things. Homestuck Spiral, yeah, the universe do be a frog. See, Homestuck is weird, chat, and that's probably a classical reference to the great Homestuck that I don't actually know a single fucking thing about, even though I've heard these idiots talk about it for like 10 hours at least. Hey, there it is. Seriously, to this day, nobody writes like you. True. I didn't stop saying this because I got sometimes I'm pretty tired of how boring most of everybody in the AniTube sphere. True, that's what I be saying, chat. That's what I be saying, yeah. As you described the album style, I immediately thought of Attack on Titan. Oh yeah, my favorite story. I know everything about Attack on Titan. Then you describe the Inwin story, and I realize Attack on Titan follows that just in the later parts. I think the switch happens when Eren kisses Historia's hand. Oh my god, just everything changed when Eren touches Historia's hand, brother. That's just so true. It's starting to get hot in here, chat. What the fuck? Do I have to take my jumper off? It's freezing. Look, it's 22 degrees. There's no way it's actually 22 degrees, right? That's hot as fuck. Not really. I'm pretending to be British. It's funny. I don't know. Maybe I'll watch that video again some other time and figure it out or something. What I got is Evangelion is about a singularity, chat. Remember? Instrumentality, etc. You can't hurt nobody if you are one body. Ooh. But then maybe you shouldn't do that, because life is better when there is other bodies, you know? Sex and stuff. That's what Ava's about. And Jujutsu Kaisen is about discovering things. I had a burp, chat. Dip-a-dip. I guess we'll give that video an old good. But as she said, it wasn't too much of a conclusion, just a thought experiment, Miller, so you should stop being so mean. Oh my god, we still have time to watch a little bit more of this Berserk video. I'm so excited.
Spread as staticky VHS ripped fan subs crawled across 56k modems. Pockets of online fans galvanized Berserk.
Oh, and this is the greatest video of all time. I want to learn about the Berserk fandom in 1994. This is sick.
Slowly
I bet it's only going to be this little bit, though.
Are all here with you now because
I wonder. This is why researching. I think this is all these idiots talk about research and how much they like it. You know this could be cool. You're like, how did Berserk to the West? And then you're going through these little anecdotes from weird people that you can find on the internet about emails and fan subs. Now, Miller's linking something because he's just being a pest. How have you not seen this video?
Suck my blade.
Oh my god.
Vampires are cooler than fuzzy dogs.
I've definitely seen this video at some point.
Blade.
The channel's called Not Forgotten. Virgin Chris Stuckman, I grew up with black people. Chad Jeremy Johns, I am black people. Now isn't that funny?
Berserk's influence slowly
I think it's mostly recap. This video, we'll
began
see.
to spread as staticky VHS ripped fan subs crawled across 56k modems. Pockets of online fans galvanizing.
Wait, I didn't hear the beginning of that sentence.
Like Andrew from Kent State University were using Usenet profiles bellowing into the void that was the dial-up internet, desperate for any new information on Berserk and being met with only silence. Don't worry, Andrew, we are all here with you now, because Berserk's influence slowly began to spread as staticky VHS ripped fan subs crawled across 56k modems. Pockets of online fans galvanizing into dedicated communities.
Welcome to, hold on, I want to read this.
Modems. Pockets of online fans.
Welcome to Black Sun Over Something Berserk homepage. This site is dedicated to the, and then they have the Japanese name of the Berserk anime, written by Kentaro Miura and serialized in Young Animal magazine, even though it's inspired our fan translation of the anime series, and the information here, especially the background of the Italian manga series. There are a couple of, get out of the way!
Galvanizing into dedicated communities such as Black Sun Over Midlands and SkullKnight.net.
Black Sun Over Midlands. I know SkullKnight.net. I used to listen to that podcast.
That would both preempt and evolve into the massive...
God, I remember being on a bus or something, and it would have had to be in grade 12 going somewhere at the top of the street where my high school was, listening to some SkullKnight.net shit.
dedicated global fan base that would stay loyal to Berserk through decades. Even when Berserk's later releases slowed to the point that Guts could spend 8 years, 6 months, and 18 days on a boat, it did not matter. Berserk's fan base did not wane, each new chapter becoming a news article worthy event. Because when you read a new chapter of Berserk, you weren't just catching up on some manga you liked, you were living the latest piece of Guts' beautiful, tragic story.
And then he fucking died!
Taking one more step towards the fated day when the Black Swordsman Guts would take his vengeance against the Falcon of Light, Griffith. A day that would surely be celebrated.
Remember when I made a Berserk video and Miller didn't say a fucking thing about it, by the way?
And remembered forever, and mark Berserk as the greatest revenge story.
This is where he fucking dies, bro.
Of all time. And then Kentaro Miura died, and
oh, he kind of did it in a cute way. He didn't have, I was expecting the dramatic music. Now the dramatic music might come in the second I unpause this, but I don't know. I kind of like this.
And that never happened.
Oh, he did do the somber voice. I'm crying now, Chad. I guess that is the whole premise of the fucking video, right? You should story Berserk even though it's fucking finished and it's not ending.
The morning I found out Kentaro Miura died was... I couldn't process it at first. It was only later that day when I'm standing in Dublin Zoo and it's like pouring rain and I'm staring at this massive, beautiful gorilla and he just
This
looks
is kind of
so
funny, actually. This is great. And by funny, I mean good.
Tired and sad. And something about that just hits me. Everything I'd seen Guts go through, all his struggle, all his hardship, that decade of memories...
It's nothing to compare to what this gorilla goes through on the daily. Zoos are immoral and we need to end factory farming and veganism is the way. Now that would be a funny subversion of this video. Shut up. You're not allowed to say Miura died wah. I just did that joke. Ready for him to get depressed. You told me the whole video before you even made it. No, I told you the whole next video before I made the first one, idiot. No way he played the gorilla thing seriously. No, it's cute. I could see, you have moments like that where it's kind of ridiculous and you're scared to put it in a YouTube video, but he persisted and put it in because those are the deep moments that actually happen rather than the cool moments Miller only wants to be portrayed in great YouTube videos.
It just came crashing down. That final showdown with Griffith, it was never gonna happen. Guts' story was never going to end. This thing I love is gone. I might have...
So there's two options here. Either this video came out before they announced it was continuing, which in 2022 is possible, or at the end it's going to be like something we're not supposed to know about and he's going to mention it at the end. A dramatic like, oh, we actually might get an ending, bro. This is the hardest video I've ever had to make. Based. Also, in making this video, he made a lot of those 2-page spread things I put in my most recent video, so everybody will respect Super Eye Patch Wolf. This is too cringe all this time later, please stop. Nah, at the end, he's like, no matter what the new team does, it won't be Berserk. True!
I might have cried, and
also quit spoiling my anticipation.
I definitely ruined my girlfriend's birthday. So
see, it was funny in the end, Miller. Apologize.
This fucking mess of a video is gonna be in 2 parts. If you love Berserk and have been with it as long as I have, this first part
I'm with it.
Is not for you. It is for your friend who you have been trying to get into Berserk for
Alright, I gotta
years.
send this over, alright? I'll send this over to my friends.
Thank you for giving this video a shot. I know I talk too slowly and dramatically, but you will get used to it. I really think Berserk is one of the best stories we as a species have
So is the first part going to be a remake of the first video? Because in that case, this could be fun. And then the second part is going to be fun stuff.
Not just hyperbole.
Another yapping video. The recap part. Shut up, Miller. I would need it recapped for me, alright? But anyway, the laptop's gone flat, so I don't think we're going to get too far into the recap. Isn't every video just somebody yapping? You know, I'm sick of yapping, personally.
Over the course of making this video, I read the 1967 classic 100 Years of Solitude, and it's amazing. It's like half as good as Berserk. And if I do my job right here today, you'll at least understand why someone might feel that way, but also why a series like this is worth getting into, even if it's never getting its true ending. And a little warning, to do that, we're going to be going pretty in detail about the first quarter of Berserk's story. I'm not going to spoil more than I have to, but there's going to be some plot events that are unavoidable. Then will come part 2, in which I will speak directly to you, the person who has loved Berserk for years, in a section I call, "Oh God, Berserk is over, Berserk is over, what's the point? What's the point in anything?" In which we will try to come to terms with the fact that this thing that was a part of our lives for so long is gone, and what that means.
What does it mean,
Chuck? I cannot guarantee we'll be successful in this. In fact, we probably won't. I don't know what I'm doing here. This is like an impossible video to write.
Why you should still read Berserk.
Oh my God, it's the voiceover, it's back.
Why you should still read Berserk.
Oh,
damn it! So, Berserk, Chapter 1, Page 1, the aforementioned Cannon Blast.
Oh my God, I just want more videos about Page 1 of Berserk, you know. Is it good? Is it bad? What does it mean? Why is it so edgy? Heath, there is no mean tour in Berserk. What are we talking about? Berserk isn't that good. I had to drop that boring trash around the start when Guts is fighting a Minotaur guy. He's talking about Nosferatu's wad. Gotta learn to sit back and observe. Not everything needs a reaction. Is Tipsy shit talking me? What's happening? Oh, well, anyway, we gotta end this goddamn fucking stream. Oh my God. Let me just write some Pokemons, you know. Nearly at 20,000 words. Maybe about a tenth of the way done in the video. Oh, can't wait, you know. Gonna be a 9-hour video, you know. Yeah. Sick. Lights, camera, quaction. You just can't beat it, chat. You know, it's the greatest Pokemon episode of all time. Miller, I want you to go home. And by home, you're probably already home. And I want you to watch episode... Oh no, I don't remember what episode number it is. But you gotta watch Pokemon Lights, Camera, Quaction and tell me you don't want to watch this whole series. And then be disappointed that nothing will ever be as funny as that episode ever again. It's about movies. Now anyway, well, this was a funner stream than I expected. And also, 1 hour and 20 minutes. And it kind of felt like that long, you know? Go home and read One Piece? I don't wanna. Did I tell you I was watching Pissed Pirates with Best Guy Ever? I probably did tell you, huh? That was pretty fun. Yes, battery dying, the Yap session over. Needs more House of the Dragon talk. Well, we need more House of the Dragon idiots to get in here. But, in what? It's Monday. 4 days or so, we'll have more yapping about House of the Dragon. What are you consuming, Kyle? Well, Miller, if you check my media checklist, you'll see that I just finished We Are Lady Parts Season 2. And now I've got to do Madoka Magica. And then I've got to figure out Black Lagoon, Hunter x Hunter, and One Piece all in one. I already watched episode 1, Miller. I already watched episode 1. Like last week. You know, shit was mid. Let's be honest. But, the cat is going to eat the girl or whatever in the next episode. I know the spoiler. So we'll have to get to it. We'll see. I'm sure it'll be good once I get into it, but you know, I got distracted. But... Oh, I stopped playing Minecraft a little bit. I gave up on Pokemon Stadium because it was too hard and it was beating my little ass. So I don't know. Video games are weird. Everybody get the fuck out of here, losers.